Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from grayflorals.com and today I have another 6x6 Fix series edition for you all. Don't forget to check out Crafty Mikey, link down below, because she is in this series as well, where we take our 6x6 paper pads and really make sure that we're using them on our layout. So today I'm using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of April. And it's also my project focus for my Craft Your Stash Away series. If you guys have not been up to date with those, I'll have the 6x6 Fix playlist link down below, as well as my How to Kill a Kit with Style for April playlist link down below, so you guys can keep up to date with me. Ideally finishing this 6x6 paper pad this month. You'll see it again later this month when I do another page for this series, but very, very exciting stuff. So it's actually funny because I have a bunch of the same size scraps because I made a pocket letter with this paper pad and actually the whole collection that I have of it. But what's really funny is they're all the same size, right? So this is a good opportunity to do a grid style layout. And since I'm doing an 8.5 by 11 today, I thought it'd be nice to see a take on a grid for something that's not a square, because oftentimes we see 12 by 12 layouts having that square format or that grid style. But I think with this one, since it is 8.5 by 11, using tiles, as I'll call them, as rectangles instead of squares works really, really well. So it takes up a lot of space. I'm only doing the 6 instead of 3 rows because I thought it would work better, or 3 columns rather, instead of, you know, doing a matrix, which is 3 by 3. I'm doing 2 by 3, which is just fine. And because I have such a cute photo here, I can use a ton of color on this layout. Now this photo is a photo of a specialty drink that we got in Epcot at Disney World, because it was Flower and Garden Fest at this time. I actually have another page that'll be out later this month that coordinates with this one pretty well. And in case you guys didn't notice, I did pull out a yellow piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock to coordinate as my background piece. Sometimes you just don't want to cut into your pretty papers, especially if you're using a ton of patterns on top of that. So if you do want to use your 6x6 paper pads a bit more and use them as a focus, try to find a gentler background, a less busy background. That way the patterns can pop on their own and it doesn't feel as overwhelming. So as I go through my supplies in my kit, I have a lot of different collections in here. I have stuff from Pebbles and stuff from My Mind's Eye and Simple Stories, and I pull out so much. I pull out so many different ideas. I have some Simple Stories Carpe Diem. I have some My Mind's Eye On Trend. I think it's 2. Some Pebbles Summer Fun. Just so many great things, and some LE Studio in there as well that'll be featured. But before I glue these down, I thought they needed a little bit more pizzazz. So I was like, could I ink the edges? What should I do to make them look a little bit different? And I pull out my Tim Holtz Distress tool. Definitely hasn't been used in a while, but I'm glad to be using another tool on a page. And this is kind of annoying to do, I will say. It takes time, it takes effort to actually sit there and distress all the sides, but don't worry, I've cut out a lot of that for you guys so you don't have to witness that. So here I'm going to glue down my pieces now that they're all distressed pretty well. And I think it goes also with the theme of this tropical, you know, we have a paper straw. Everybody knows that paper straws get soggy over time, just like this one did, but save the turtles. And you know, it wasn't too bad, and it was the cutest paper straw I've ever seen. But this fancy drink was like a mango passion fruit thing, one of those frozen types of drinks, and it was really, really delicious. Again, this was a seasonal thing, so even though Disney World's not open currently, we can still dream about these things that have happened for us. So if you guys didn't know, I have now moved to Florida, so I do live here now. So we go to Disney quite often, and this was one of the first times we'd gone to Epcot because it was Flower and Garden when we had moved here. So this is like the first treat I got at Epcot for the festival, because it was a festival exclusive. And if you guys don't know, I'm a very picky eater, so a lot of times I don't actually partake in a lot of the festival eating, but this was something I could have that I really did enjoy. I just matted my little photo here on one piece of 6x6 paper. Sometimes I do multiple mats and sometimes I don't, and I've gotten some questions about how I decide to do that. It really depends on the busyness of the photo as well as the busyness that the photo will be on top of, whether it's paper, cardstock, ephemera, mixed media. It really, really depends. Here I thought there's a lot going on already, especially with all my plans with these die cuts. I thought I'd keep it simple with just one mat, but it needed something to brighten it up, so I went with that, you know, florally paper with the palm leaves, because it had a white background and the green color was quite light, so I thought that worked really well. So here I've placed a ton of my die cuts, but I'm still not sold on the idea that that's where they'll go, so they're not glued in place yet because I'm cautious about that kind of thing. So I start planning out some of my other embellishments. I knew I wanted some clusters on top of these empty squares. I knew I wanted to leave one empty for some journaling, so that flamingo one up there will be empty and stay empty, and I'll be able to put some journaling strips there later on. But I'm going to start gluing down these large ephemera pieces because I've kind of committed with these stickers. And you know, the pop of bright colors is really, really fun. I usually don't use this many bright colors, so if you guys have watched me for a while, you might realize that I'm really not a super bright colored person, but when I make a kit and it is full of bright color, I really dive into it. So if you're expecting some spring color schemes here, I'm sorry to say we've already moved on to summer a lot for these next few weeks here while I scrapbook a bunch of fun tropical pictures. And I hope it brings a smile to your face, even though we're all cooped up in our homes and, you know, not being able to travel or spend time with our loved ones sometimes. We can always have scrapbooking to turn to relive those memories and, you know, really try to highlight those memories that we do love so very much. Here I took a ton of puffy stickers from the Jen Hadfield sticker set in my kit and used all of the fruit ones I pulled out. So I have a strawberry, orange slice, a pineapple, a lime slice. They all kind of fit in with the theme of a tropical drink, so I utilized it. Same with that pineapple die cut from My Mind's Eye and that strawberry sticker from the Echo Park sticker sheet. Just really throwing them on there. Now here comes the saga of me struggling to use these washi tape strips. If you guys go to Michael's and you find cute washi tape strips, beware. They do not come off the backing. It is pure chaos trying to rip these off. And I should have known because I do have another set of these and they were the exact same way. Let me know if you guys have these and you have the same issue. They're just the Recollections brand, but they're meant for planners because they're a smaller size, but they're really just not great. Would not recommend, but I'm going to use them because they're cute, but they're very difficult. So I used that gold scallop there underneath my photo. It's hard to tell, but the pineapple on the right hand side is gold foiled as well as the tag around it has gold foil. So just wanted to point that out so you guys can see why I'm adding some more gold. Here I take another washi strip from that set, which again just ripped right off, and it's not washi tape anymore, it's paper. It's colored paper, which is not exactly what I wanted. But I glued that under the little cluster I'd made in the top right on top of the pineapple paper. Here I'm wrestling another piece, but I don't end up using this one. This one I tried taking off the whole piece, so I took off the entire backing with it, and then tried to just peel off the other side, but that didn't work either. It's like they stuck together and they never tested it ever again, I don't know. But this is what the layout's kind of looking like. It's shaping up pretty well. Again, when you're trying to use 6x6 papers, it's usually a lot of patterns, so you need to be sure that you're cautious of mixing and matching patterns. Here there's a lot of space for them to roam freely, and in fact I almost covered up the bottom left one completely with that giant ephemera with the photo. So when you're doing it, you might want to make sure that your grid's spaced out well enough that it doesn't get fully covered by something, although it does depend on your style, you might not care. But I made sure that some of these were all being visible at one point or another. So I'm going to try to use this sticker sheet to create my title, and I'm not having it, so I just put it down and start embellishing some more. So I grabbed this sticker that says sun because this was a very nice sunny day. And then I go in for a title. Now I pulled these out and they're pink, they're red, I'm really not sure. But they are some Heidi Swapp glitter stickers. They're foam, they're really cute. I've used them a ton. This is probably one of the last words I can spell with them. I think I'm missing like S's and T's and A's, and you know, after that it kind of gets really tricky. It's like Scrabble. You win some, you lose some. But I got the word yummy to fit, and that makes me super excited that that will work. And I have been super into vertical titles lately, so if you guys are interested in seeing more, I have more over on my Patreon account. I have a couple exclusive videos over there that include vertical titles, and they're so different in every way, but somehow so similar by being vertical titles. So it's interesting how you can find parallels in your favorite designs, whether it be you use polka dots a lot, or wood grain a lot, or florals a lot, or if you do vertical titles, or if you do, you know, maybe some sentiment strips for your journaling, or maybe you always use Nouveau drops, or maybe you always use a doily. It's just nice to see how your design elements change over time because it can be very interesting and telling of your personal style, how you like to scrapbook. Then I realized I have a font in my kit that I could use, which are these Freckled Fawn black alpha blocks, and this will help finish off my title very well. Despite trying so many other pieces, this one works the best. So I just finish off my title with the word treats. So yummy treats, nope, just one, yummy treat. My bad, it's only one treat, so it makes sense. Although we did eat some other things during this event, especially during Flower and Garden, the other times that we went. But I think it's so interesting to see how things change over time. So documenting Flower and Garden this way, and then when we go back in the future, hopefully it'll still be there. And just, you know, finishing it off with some enamel dots, and then we'll do the close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of 6x6 Fix. We used 5 different 6x6 patterns on this layout. Really nice to use up scraps, is just cut them down into some squares or rectangles and make that grid pattern. And I hope you guys will try it out on your layout soon. Don't forget to check out the links down below, including Crafty Maggie's channel. You do not want to miss another one of her pages. She's got some brilliant stuff coming out. So be sure to check her out. And don't forget to check me out on Patreon if you're interested in more videos from me and more stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, because I don't want you to miss out on any future crafty videos. But thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!